Hello everybody, hope everyone's doing well tonight and having a good Sunday and had a good weekend. So yeah, hope everything's coming through. I think the audio is looking good, music is coming through, and yeah, everything's looking good. Let me know if there are any issues. So for today we are just going to build something very easy. I'm still busy with basically modeling some stuff for a little 3D animation that I'm busy planning or kind of working on and writing and kind of figuring out at the same time. So yeah, just a few models that I still need to do, and I thought tonight I'm just going to do a very simple model. It's basically the spaceship for my little alien character, but it's going to be very like a very simple shape and a very easy to, it should be very easy to model. I don't know, anything can happen. So let's see, let's jump straight into Blender and yeah, let's see what we're going to do. So I was thinking of I'm not sure if you guys have been watching the news with all the UFO news going around. So I was thinking to actually create the Tic Tac shape spaceship, and that's basically going to be the main spaceship for this character in this animation. So I think let's quickly jump over to just do a Google search here, Tic Tac UFO, just to get some references. And if we go to images, we'll see all these lovely little images from the Pentagon and all of that, but I'm just looking for like a reference of, that's the thing. So it's literally a cylinder with like a, yeah, it's like a cylinder shape. So it's going to be very simple to model, but that's kind of the idea. I just want to get one where you can see the little legs, like yeah. This is, I don't think this is a photo. I think this is a artist representation. Yeah, like 99.9% sure. Like yeah, you can see it's got these little spiky legs that everyone's talking about. Maybe like that. Maybe that's a good one to look at. It's very basic, very basic, easy shape. But yeah, we're gonna make it. I'm obviously gonna create some sort of a door. So I was thinking of creating like a tilt door that kind of opens up with stairs inside, and then when it closes you can't see anything else. So that's kind of the idea. So yeah, not sure. So welcome to the new visitors. Let me just see if my sound effects are working. I think that was working. Let me just try that again. I'm not sure. I think it comes through, but I'm also not sure. So, but yeah, welcome. So, I think I went into the, yeah, I've got screen sharing on. Okay, cool. So that's the basic shape. We're going to go for little Tic Tac shaped UFO with the funky looking legs. So as I said, it's going to be very easy, but bear with me. Let's see how it goes. So let me just jump back in here. All right. So we're going to start with a very, 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 very simple, I was thinking cylinder, but I think I've got an easier way to do this, and that's actually with UV spheres. So if we create two UV spheres, we can just join them together basically. So I think that's going to be the easiest way to do this, to get those nice round kind of corners or edges or whatever you call it. So I'm going to increase this to 32, so we have something that's a little bit more round, and maybe we can increase this to 64. I think that will do the trick. So now I just want to rotate this thing on the Y 90 degrees or minus 90, doesn't really matter. And then we can simply just duplicate this and move it off to the side. And then we can scale it afterwards to kind of get the size we're looking for. So if we go into edit mode and we enable this X-ray mode, we should be able to delete all of these faces just like that. Okay, just pressing X there. And what I will do, I will enable my screencast keys so that you guys can see what I'm pressing and etc. So here in the corner at the bottom, you can see my key presses. Okay, so the same with this one. We're going to delete everything, I think, from here. Delete. Yeah. So now we have these two halves that will be the front and the back of the ship. And now we can probably just join them together so they become one object. And now what we can do is we can simply just bridge these two edge loops. So if you alt click on that edge and alt shift click on that one, so we have both of them selected, you can simply right click and say bridge edge loops. And there you can see it's perfectly bridged those two half spheres together. And we're done. Basically. But I think we're still gonna carry on a little bit further. So what I want to do is let's just bring this front piece a little bit closer. So if I select all of these vertices, I can move them around. So I'm just going to kind of move them in to kind of get the shape I'm going for. And I think that's a nice looking tic-tac shape. All right. How's everyone doing today? Everyone doing well? Had a nice weekend? All right. So we can go into solid view again. And let's just fix the pivot quickly. So I'm just going to go, first of all, let's just apply the scale. And then I'm going to right click and say set origin to geometry to get the pivot in the center. And then we can probably just, I think this thing is centered. Yeah. All right, so now we need to maybe create the little feet. And they're actually very, very simple. It's basically just a cylinder with a little pointy cylinder going the one way. No idea how that works, but yeah. So I'm just going to create a cylinder and scale it down. So to scale it like this, I just press Shift Z, and then it's not going to scale it in the Z. So I can kind of get the size I'm going for, and then we are probably looking at something that size. Yeah, so let's just create one, and then we can duplicate it 4 times. It's got 4 of these little legs underneath. So let's see how we're gonna do this. I can probably extrude this like, let me just think if there's an easier way. Maybe extrude it down, and then we can rotate this in the Y. Let's do a spin on this one. I think that's gonna do the trick. So if we look at this from below and we select one of these vertices, and I set my 3D cursor right here, then we can take this face and then we use this spin tool and then we just choose the right axis here at the top, and now I can spin it out like so. And then we can just move the Z position of the, maybe not the Z, let me just see. Yeah, so that one and this one we want to set on 0 again, or maybe not. Kind of just want to get this angle looking nice. Yeah, so you can kind of set your own look here, so you get something like that. And then it's got this weird little spike coming out here, so I think we can just extrude this part like so maybe, and then we literally just scale this down to 0. And I think that's it. I think that's how they look. Let me just see. A bit of an issue here. So if you take this one, I should scale this down just to kind of straighten that out. Okay, so we have a little leggy thing. We can probably move it up a bit. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it a bit shorter so it doesn't go into the thing too far. So I'm just going to move this down like so. And then we can move this one up into the ship like that. We can maybe set this to shade smooth for now so it looks a bit better. Very nice. Okay, so now we need to kind of just duplicate this around. So I am going to move this Y just a bit, like maybe 0.3. So maybe 0.3, and then we duplicate it, and then we move it minus 0.6, minus 0.6. Okay, so we have our two right here, and we can move them backwards, and then we can duplicate them and move them forwards. So I think that's how it looks. That's the thing. That's the tic tac. So now what we can probably do is we can probably join all these together. So we have one object, and we can probably shade smooth them as well. What we can do, let's just enable auto smooth. Then we should be able to get these edges. There we go. The sharp edges, because sometimes if you do auto smooth, it will do some weird things to your sharp corners and sharp edges. So we have the basic shape, and next is it might be a little bit tricky because we need to create the door. So what I was thinking is just to kind of have a panel, like a section here in the middle, that kind of flaps down, if that makes any sense. So I think let's add an edge loop, 2 edge loops right here. So then we have that geometry to work with, and maybe this is not going to be as difficult. Let's see. So I wanted to kind of flip open from around here to maybe around here. So maybe that section opens up. I think that might work. Let's just save, and then we can always go back. So what I want to do here is I want to separate this part from the model first. So right click, separate selection. And now this will be a separate object, as you can see there, and then you can kind of look inside. And now I just want to set the pivot, so when we rotate this, that's actually also pretty cool. So it just kind of rotates like that, but then there's no stairs. So we can either do that, or I was actually thinking of doing this. So if we set the pivot point of this object, set to 3D cursor. If we set the pivot point here, and then we kind of get, like that rotation. So it kind of opens up like that. I don't know. What do you guys think? I see we have some new viewers on YouTube. Welcome everybody. I'm just doing some weird stuff here. Basically, I'm busy with a little animated sci-fi short film, and I am building the little main character's spaceship. And as you can see, we are doing the what do you call it? The Tic Tac UFO. That's kind of what's in the news all over the place. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions or ideas or anything like that. It's always nice to hear from you guys. Okay, so yeah, so that's the one option, to have this type of door. Okay, let's stop that. So let me just undo that quickly. Right. So it's either that or we rotate it like kind of just like that, but I think this might work better. Maybe like 100. Yeah, so what we need to do now, we need to give this thing some thickness. Before I do that, I actually want to separate these legs out again, because I don't want to apply it to them as well. So I'm going to separate them out, and now this piece is all on its own, which is exactly what I want. So now we can go and we can just apply a solidify to this thing, because I want to apply the thickness to the inside, not the outside of the model. So I'm going to set this to shade flat so we can kind of just see what we are doing. And yeah, then I'm just going to add a solidify. And you can already see it's got some thickness. And I want to take this thickness, yeah, so inside, so this way. So maybe I can cover the little legs at the bottom so we don't see them, like so. So that's pretty cool. So maybe let's make it a round number, so 0.1 looks good to me. Yeah. And then we just need to add the same solidify to the door. So let's hope it's gonna fit. So solidify, and then we're gonna do this also on the inside. So 0.1. All right. Minus 100, and then it should seal perfectly. So if we shade smooth, then that's what we have. It's interesting that we can actually see the... No, but we can't. I think if we go into render view, yeah, you can't see those. You can see it a little here at the bottom. That's interesting. Let's just check if our face orientation is correct. Yeah, that's all good. Let's go inside. Inside is looking good. Yeah, I'm not sure what that problem is there, but I don't think it's the end of the world. So I'm not going to worry about that too much. Cool, so there's our little spaceship, and we have our door opens up, dun, 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 and something like that. So now I can probably just join these together. So this one and this one join together, and for now I'm just gonna leave the door. Oops. Let me just... What's happening here? This would be minus 90, yeah. I'm going to leave that closed for now. And then we just want to set the pivot to be at the bottom in the middle. I usually try and do that. So, yeah, so it's kind of sitting on the floor. So if we look at this thing from below, and then we see this, and then I just need to select like a middle vertice, like, oops, maybe, yeah, so we have to kind of select these middle ones. So that one, and this one, and I'm doing this by holding in shift, so we select all of them. Okay, so I've got those 4 selected, those 4 vertices underneath, and then I press shift S and then cursor to select it. So it's going to place the cursor right in the middle of those 4 vertices, and then we can go into object mode, or yeah, object, and then right click, set origin to 3D cursor. So my origin is going to be there. So now if I want to move this thing down, I just need to first parent my door to the thing. So to parent something, very easy, select your child first and then shift click on your parent, right click, parent object, and now you can still move your child, but if you move your parent, then it's gonna be parented, if that makes any sense. Cool, so now we can move it down, we can snap this to, no, that didn't snap correctly, because we need to enable this absolute grid snap. So now I should be able, yeah, so what I want to, or what you can actually do is very, it's easier than that. First, set your 3D cursor to your world center. So to do that, you press Shift S, cursor to world origin. So your cursor is going to go straight to the center. And then you can select your object, Shift S, and then select it to cursor. Now your object is standing perfectly on the ground. Ooh, yeah, I actually want to do this. So if we select these front vertices of these legs, because you can obviously move them around, but you need to okay, so they are multiple vertices all squashed into one. So I think we need to clean up these first. So you can simply just press M and then merge them at the center. And also you want to make sure you select all of them. So rather enable this X-ray vision and then do that. I think that will work a bit better. Same here, M at center, M at center. Okay, so now we have that sorted. So now we can go back to what we wanted to do. I want to bring those front points down so that they're at the same level, because if you look at this from the side, you will see that it's kind of resting on this round area, and I want this thing to kind of be flat, so it's more like a little yeah, just like a little foot, if that makes any sense. So now we can go and we can select these vertices, and if we move them around, yeah, they're all moving nicely. So I want to bring them down to 0, basically. They need to be exactly on the ground. So what we can do, global, yeah, so if we look at one of these other vertices, maybe if you look at this center one, so I think that's the center one, maybe this one, Z. So I'm looking at the Z value here. So if you click on them, you can actually see the Z value for that one vertex. Just make sure that you're on global and not on local, because local will give you the local coordinates, and we're looking for the global coordinates. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to select this one, and then I'm just going to set the Z to 0. And then if we look at this from the side, just to make sure that's what we're looking for, And you see, it just brings that point down, and then everything is perfect. So we can do the same with that one. Global Z 0. And this one, global Z 0, and the same with that one. Yeah, I think that looks a lot better. So what you can also do, like for instance, this door or this doorway thing that I parented to my ship. Let's say I want to lock the rotation, because currently if I rotate this in the Y, you're going to get that, and that's not what we want. And if we do rotate Z, you get that, also not what I want. And then X is the right one. So what you can do is select that door, and then you just lock the rotations that you don't want. So we only want the X, which is showing up as a Y here. I don't know why that's happening. Let's just see here. So I'm literally rotating this in the X, but it's showing that it's rotating in the Y. Okay, that's probably just if I go to local, then it will probably be, local Z. Okay, that doesn't really make sense, but it also really doesn't matter. Like if I go back here and I see that it's the Y that's happening, I can then just lock the other two. So now I can select it and then only press R for rotation, and it's only going to rotate in that specific direction. Let me just rotate that open again, maybe 45. What's happening with our ship that lost the little thing, the little solidify? I think when I separated the feet out again, I think I did something weird there. So I'm just going to add this back, the solidify, and then we want this at 0.1. And maybe let's try this even thickness. Maybe that works a bit better. What should this be on? 0? No. Minus 90. You can still see this edgy at the bottom, but yeah, I don't think that actually bothers me that much. Okay. Alright, let's see. So this thing is now working only in the correct axes, and then we have the inside, we just got the thickness on, and we have our little feet. And yeah, I don't know if there's anything else we need to do here. So let me show you guys if you want to see what else I have modeled. Let's append quickly from my other projects from Livestream 12. Let's see. Building Mars rover remote. Okay, let's just import all of them. Now this is probably going to be crazy scale wise. Let's just move this out. Okay, so we have a building, so I'm still busy with it. So that's our little building, some satellite dishes on the roof, and then we have these doors as well. They're not working yet, they kind of loose, so I can kind of open them like this, but yeah, they're not sliding or functioning yet. And then we have our Mars rover, which is this little guy that I also still need to build out, because I need some sort of arms for this thing, or like a little robotic arm, maybe 2, maybe 3, that I can use to, yeah, like later in the story there's a bit of a weird scene with the Mars rover, so I still need to finish that model. Then I have a little remote, and the remote will also be used for the Mars rover to basically control it. So these two go together. And then we have our telescope, which is this little baby. Just a very simple little cartoony telescope. And what I also want to do with this one, I want to build like a, what do they call it? Like a, not a planetarium. You guys know what I mean. The building where your telescope kind of goes. It's a observatory. Yeah, I think it's an observatory. So this thing here at the top looks a little bit like an observatory, but I don't think it is. But yeah, something similar to this type of thing, where the top section can kind of open up and it can rotate, and then your telescope will fit inside that building. And then obviously we have our spaceship that we did today. Little spaceship, and we have our door coming through or opening like that. So yeah, pretty cool. I'm just going to rotate this around. And we can maybe place him here in front. So he's kind of parked here in front of his little base. And I think for now we can maybe just move some of these things around. And we have our Mars rover. And this one we can maybe place there in front. Yeah, so that's what we have so far. Maybe let's put this guy back here somewhere. And then we can maybe have a bit of a better view. So maybe this thing should still go bigger. Maybe like that. Yeah. Let's just see if the door is still working. Zoop. Yeah. Door is still working, so that's cool. Dun, 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 dun. So let's just add a little empty in the middle. I don't have a camera yet. I just want to create a little rotating thing. Where's my camera? Let's just sync this to this view, like so. And then I just want to center this part, and then that's fine. That can be 0. That's fine. And then we can link it with our empty. Where's the empty? Yeah, empty we can scale up. So camera, shift click empty, parent object, and now we can add some rotation to just create a quick rotation around our scene. So on the empty, I'm going to put a keyframe on rotation, and then we go to frame 250, and then we're going to rotate that 360, and then another keyframe. Now the only thing is this is going to create like a slow start, and then it's going to speed up, and then it's going to kind of slow down again at the end. So it's not a perfect loop. And then it's going to start again. So what you want to do if you do something like this, you can simply select these two keyframes, because it's going to automatically kind of ease them like that. So you want to right click, and then you want to go to handle type, and you can set this to vector, and that's going to just make it a straight line. So now if we play back, hello Martin Fenter, hope you're doing well. Sorry, I only saw your message now. I'm not sure when you sent it. But yeah, thanks for the wave, man. Thanks for the wave. Yeah, so that is basically how you do that. So I change your keyframe type. So yeah, so we have like a base, we have a telescope, we have our Mars rover, we have our remote, and we have our brand new little Tic Tac. Yeah. So I think that's the only thing I'm going to do today. I know this was a very, very quick little stream. How long have we been streaming? 40 minutes only. A quick little 40-minute stream. Yeah, but I think next week I still have a lot to model. Wait, let's look at the list. Yeah, there's a lot. Let me just grab a cigarette. I need a cigarette for this. Okay, so we still need the main character, which is going to be like a little alien. Let's just go back to this window. It's a bit better. Yeah, so we need the alien, which is the main character of the little story I'm writing. Then we need a telescope, which I've kind of done the main telescope, or just the cartoony part. I still need to do the observatory that goes around it. Then there's the Mars rover that I'm kind of busy with, but it's not finished yet. That's the one where I still need to do the robotic arms. And the remote is done. And then I need to model a planet, just Mars. So that's going to be pretty easy. So it's basically a sphere with some textures. And then I just need to create like a random Martian scene with some nice rocks and mountains and stuff like that. Spaceship is done. Tic Tac is done. So that's probably the easiest way, or the easiest model on the list. And then we have the house, or the lab, or the workshop. So that's the main building. So that's the main building of where the alien kind of stays and lives and all of that. Then I've got on the list a planetarium, but I think I was actually supposed to say observatory. So yeah, planetarium, observatory, probably kind of the same thing, but yeah, I want the one where the telescope kind of sticks through the roof. And then I need a light bulb, which is for a specific moment. Then I need a human model, and there's going to be a model of the Earth, so also very simple, just a sphere with some nice Earth materials. And then there's going to be a room, like a bedroom on Earth, so a human bedroom. So lots of things to model there. And then there's a little cage. I'm not sure what. Okay, so yeah, that's just either a little cage or a little yeah, I'm not sure if I might actually change that. And then I also need to model a space scene. So that's basically going to be the planet Mars and the sun and some other planets in the distance, and maybe some asteroids floating around, Saturn in the distance. So yeah, that's kind of the list. And then obviously there's a lot of small other things that will be needed in some of the... When is the film's premiere? Let's make it 2 weeks from now. No, let's make it 2025. How does that sound? 2024 maybe, if we're lucky. Yeah, so it's gonna take some time. But yeah, I'm kind of happy with the models so far. I kind of like the building, the lab. Obviously I can still kind of build out on that and add some extra stuff to it. But my favorite thing so far is my new little Tic Tac spaceship. I know it's super basic, but it's cool. I like it. Yeah, that is the Tic Tac. Tunk tunk, little door. And yeah, I'm still thinking about this door, if it maybe should not rotate just kind of around, like on the inside. But we'll see. Anyways, I think that is gonna be it for today. Very quick stream, but we have a new model, so I'm happy. So yeah, I hope hope you guys have a nice weekend further, and I hope everyone is doing well and keeps warm. It's getting pretty cold here in South Africa, so yeah, winter is in full swing. All right. I just want to say quick thanks to everyone who tuned in today. Remember to come and join us on the Discord server. We are growing slowly but surely. I think we have like about 18 or 20 people, maybe 22, I'm not sure. But yeah, come join us there. Come learn some Blender. And just always keen to see what people are doing. So you are more than welcome to come and share your renders or your personal projects or your work in progress there, and get some feedback and just kind of chat to like-minded people there. Awesome. Happy Eve, looking good. Thanks, Mr. Martin Fenter. Okay, people, have a nice one. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.